Last time, Remy pinged Arlo to meet up after getting into a spat with Cecile. Dawn nudged John awake, a mission to conquer homework accomplished. A triumphant declaration escaped him, rousing William from slumber. Gently, William urged for quieter celebrations. John's departure loomed, a sandwich pilgrimage with Sarah awaiting. Stirred by the commotion, Sarah emerged from her dreamscape. William's fitness excursion invited her, yet her interest stayed hidden. Within school's walls, Arlo ventured to the press room, drawn by curiosity. Cecile, a fount of knowledge, caught his attention. Veiled in irritation, Arlo sought insight into an anonymous writer. The words exchanged teetered on an edge, a clash of loyalty and disdain. The dormant anger within Arlo erupted, asserting Remy's reign. The writer's identity was exposed. Terrence. Sarah steered William to the sandwich haven, flavors tantalizing his taste buds. Gratefulness flowed from him for the tour. With a gentle inquiry, Sarah unveiled the narrative behind his book. William painted a canvas of powerlessness in youth, nurturing a dream for an equitable world. A tinge of vulnerability colored his words, entwined with the tale of John's redemption. Gratitude shimmered in his eyes for Sarah's care. Before we continue, take a moment to answer the question of the day. Who is your favorite protagonist in Manhwa? Comment down below for a chance to be shouted out. A solitary night in John's company neared its end, his departure imminent. The editor's leash pulled him back, and William's parting request lingered. Shield Sarah from darkness. Emotions mingled as he embraced them both. A heartfelt farewell ensued, followed by a warning to John. Secrets bear consequences. John's assurance wavered, determination shadowing doubt. William departed, leaving echoes of inspiration. Sarah lounged, scrolling through her device, a moment of solace shattered by John's arrival. The hum of conversation hovered, assignments concluded. A question lingered in her eyes. An offer to review John's work rebuffed. Conversation shifted, focusing on the impending return to school. Sarah doesn't want to go back. She's already reminiscing about the sweet freedom of the past week. But suddenly, Sarah's tranquil moment at home is disrupted when unexpected visitors drop by. Kaon and his assistant Zender from the authorities make an unannounced appearance at Sarah's house. The housemaid, with a polite smile, informs them that both the master and mistress of the house are currently absent, but will return next week. Keon, with an air of curiosity, explains that he needs to ask Sarah a few questions before she resumes school the next day. However, the housemaid delivers the news that Sarah has been away in Wellston for the past week. Keon's questioning will have to wait until Sarah is back at school. The following day, within the infirmary's walls, Keen playfully prods Darren about his dating escapades. Darren chuckles, revealing that his romantic plans were thwarted when his girlfriend embarked on a sudden 2-week trip for work. Meanwhile, in the bustling corridors, Elaine gracefully maneuvers her way through the crowd when she inadvertently crosses paths with Arlo. Arlo's perceptive gaze catches her actions, leading him to call out to her. Elaine, with a fleeting excuse, brushes off the encounter, promising to chat with Arlo later. Perplexed by her behavior, Arlo's frustration seeps through as he demands to know what's bothering her. Elaine opens up, admitting that she's been mulling over recent events involving Sarah and John. She recounts a moment when Sarah urgently called her to heal John, sparking her suspicion that John was behind the clash with Arlo. Their hushed conversation takes place under watchful eyes, and Elaine confides in Arlo that she's unnerved by John's intensity. She harbors a genuine fear of getting caught up in their tumultuous dynamic due to her perceived vulnerability. Arlo reassures Elaine that as long as John's secret remains intact, he won't make a move, but their talk is shadowed by an uncanny sensation of being observed. As the dialogue unfolds, Sarah leaves Waba Boba with her drink in hand, unknowingly becoming the target of someone's interest. A golden-haired girl approaches Sarah, engaging her in conversation about the time, and a tense energy hangs in the air. Suddenly, Sarah's phone slips from her grasp, leading to a peculiar chain of events that leave her disoriented. With her heart racing, Sarah narrowly avoids a van aiming to collide with her. Her powers come to her aid, but she senses a troubling sluggishness in her abilities. Strangers emerge from the van, urging her to come to the hospital. Sarah resists, only to find herself under attack. A mysterious injection disrupts her healing powers, and a fight for survival ensues. Amidst the chaos, Sarah's determination prevails as she fights off her assailants with a newfound intensity. The chilling realization that these attackers mean to end her life sharpens her focus, and a visceral clash unfolds, resulting in her triumphant survival. Without warning, Sarah is stabbed from behind with a knife. Yet the injection's effects linger, and Sarah struggles to maintain her composure. Weak but undeterred, she navigates through the crowd, her instincts on high alert. A stranger's offer of assistance is met with skepticism, reflective of Sarah's newfound wariness. The sense of vulnerability persists as Sarah flees to the safety of her home. As John arrives home, an unsettling sight greets him. Blood stains on the door handle. He rushes inside and discovers Sarah lying motionless, bloodied. A surge of shock washes over him. Urgently, he scoops up Sarah, trying to rouse her from her unconscious state, only to notice her bleeding. Without hesitation, he dials Elaine's number from Sarah's phone, but the connection is swiftly severed upon hearing John's voice. Elaine's reluctance to engage with him is palpable. In a frantic search for help, John dials Arlo, pleading for him to bring Elaine to Sarah's side without divulging the details. Arlo's curiosity is piqued, but John's insistence silences any further inquiry. Soon, both Arlo and Elaine stand in disbelief, beholding Sarah's dire condition. Elaine hovers near Sarah, her gaze accusatory toward John, suspicions cast upon him. A tense moment erupts as emotions flare, culminating in a sharp slap from John to silence Elaine's accusations. While Arlo witnesses this turbulent exchange, his lips remain sealed. John clarifies his intentions. He has summoned Elaine not for a verbal confrontation, but to utilize her unique ability to mend Sarah's wounds. Elaine channels her power, tending to Sarah's injuries. Amidst the palpable tension, Arlo's mind churns, wrestling with the inconceivable idea of anyone overpowering Sarah. As Elaine completes her healing, John's inquiry about Sarah's continued unconsciousness hangs in the air. Her response carries an air of uncertainty. Something inexplicable lingers. Frustration bubbles within John, attempting to pin blame on Elaine's perceived shortcomings, but Arlo intervenes, asserting John's need to take charge. The confrontation is brief, a release of tension, and John returns his focus to Sarah. Examining her closely, John's ability reveals a disconcerting needle mark on Sarah's neck. Arlo speculates its origin, a potential drugging, stifling her wakefulness. John mends the mark, a desperate attempt to piece together the puzzle and uncover the assailant. Tenderly cradling Sarah, he carries her to the bedroom, shutting out any interference from Elaine. Outside, Arlo contemplates the gravity of the situation. Sarah, once impervious, now vulnerable, her unique abilities compromised. Whoever is responsible poses a perilous threat. Elaine's attempt to offer solace with water is declined, his thoughts too consumed by the impending danger. Their hushed conversation reveals doubts about John's potential and the safeguarding of a concealed truth. The night advances, the house cloaked in slumber. A van emerges, its presence sinister. Intruders analyze the dormant household, their intentions concealed. One infiltrator breaches the sanctum, setting off a sudden awakening. Elaine's eyes open to a chilling scene as an assailant descends upon Arlo. Defending him, she takes a knife to the arm. Arlo awakens, catching the intruder within the barrier. Elaine removes the knife, her wound healing sluggishly. She recognizes it, the same blade Sarah once carried. Arlo demands an explanation. Meanwhile, a second intruder sneaks into Sarah's room. Noise reaches John, prompting questions. Arlo reveals they found Sarah's attacker. Astonished, John notes Arlo's concealed barrier. The interrogated intruder remains tight-lipped. Arlo senses deception, a trap looming. Suddenly, a crash reverberates. John and Elaine rush to Sarah's room. Arlo incapacitates the intruder. John glimpses someone spiriting Sarah out of the window. Struggling to activate his ability, John pursues. A last-minute barrier by Arlo halts the kidnapper. Frantic, John nears the captor. A tense standoff ensues. John, undeterred, edges closer as the knife grazes Sarah's throat. The kidnapper demands powers be relinquished. Arlo, catching on, extends the conversation. Elaine exits, following the plan. John watches the blade's descent, seizing the moment to disarm the captor. A brawl ensues. Sarah is freed. The intruder topples, and John subdues him. Elaine enters the barrier, cradling the unconscious Sarah. John's retribution is swift. The van shatters the barrier, injuring Arlo. Pondering the van's breach, Arlo's baffled. A partner aids the intruders. Plans abandoned. John rises, determination unshaken. The kidnappers flee. Sarah is safe. John's latest barrier stunt turns into a spectacular crash and dash, leaving everyone fleeing the wreckage. Guess what? John takes another hit. This guy's like a magnet for bruises. Housebound, Arlo gets a patch-up from Elaine while John's busy channeling his inner storm cloud. He lays it out for Arlo. One job, dude. Just one. Keep that barrier rock solid. And now he's got beef with Arlo, calling him useless. Arlo fires back, blazing with rage. Turns out John should have pulled off some superhero rescue instead of going all stabby-stab. And cue the brawl. John decks Arlo, who snatches him by the collar, ready to throw down. But Elaine's not having it. She pulls a referee move and orders them to quit the playground fight and brainstorm their next move. Arlo's got a theory. This was a well-orchestrated ambush. But hold up, why'd they hightail it out of there? Elaine overheard them mumbling, but the sound was on mute mode. John cracks the code. These jerks had a timer set for their power-nullifying trick. Elaine's healing mojo came back as soon as the baddies bolted, meaning their power dampening had an expiry date. Arlo adds his 2 cents. They did the same gig with Sarah, putting her on power-saving mode and sending her on a danger date. But Sarah gave him the slip. Lightbulb moment. Arlo recalls Remy's teddy bear chip story. These jerks have been pulling strings for a month. John's got sass to spare. Who takes a whole month plotting someone's downfall? The room falls quiet. Fast forward to a hospital plan. They'll ring Dr. Darren in the AM, but the authorities? Nah, Sarah's back in the game. A little groggy and barfy, but alive. She's puzzled by the presence of Arlo and Elaine. After a cinematic flashback, she dashes to the bathroom like an Olympic sprinter. John and Elaine wake up to Sarah's commotion. John's got the bedside manner of a grizzly bear with a hangover, asking if Sarah's good, but her powers are on snooze mode. And John's like, relax, it's the meds. Meanwhile, Arlo and Elaine drop the hello bombs on Sarah. Sarah's version of a welcome back party comes with confusion, until John spills the tea. They were almost snatched by these goons last night, and Arlo played hero. Arlo's side-eye game is strong. Phone woes follow, with John needing Arlo's gadget. A call to Dr. Darren is like dialing a grumpy dragon, but they score some advice on Sarah's power predicament. 4 days is the magic number. Keep it on the down low, though. John soothes Sarah's worries, promising 4 days will vanish like a puff of smoke. Speaking of secrets, Arlo and Elaine tattle to the headmaster, who promises to lay down the law. Elaine's still stewing, but Arlo's the voice of, it's gonna be okay wisdom. He takes a power nap. Elaine finds solace in snoozeland, and they both dream of a power-recharged Sarah. Guess who's back? Sarah. After a month of AWOL, the school gossips are working overtime, but Sarah's on a mission to avoid all things chatter-worthy. Ison and Blake spot her. Ison's on cloud 9, and it's tea time for the headmaster, who has an unexpected visitor. John storming into the headmaster's office, ready to lay out his living arrangements. But the headmaster's got other plans. The argument is like a game of ping-pong, but in the end, the headmaster wins. John storms out, leaving his anger lingering like a dramatic exit scene. Sarah lounges atop the rooftop, engrossed in her makeshift mobile game, when a surprise visitor, John, appears by her side. Casual as ever, he inquires about her well-being. She shrugs, nonchalant, revealing that life's been its usual self. John's tone shifts, a flicker of concern in his eyes. He leans in and urges her to keep her secret tucked away, hidden from prying eyes. But Sarah, with a quiet resolve, brushes off the idea, stating that divulging it doesn't concern her. His voice softens. Earnestly, he imparts wisdom. He speaks of the mental toll secrets can levy, how they can gnaw away at peace. Sarah nods, a silent agreement to heed his advice. With that, a sense of ease washes over John. Down the corridor, Arlo spots Blake tacking up a flyer on the board. Intrigued, Arlo probes, and Blake's response flows like a swift stream. He's disseminating warnings about the shadowy Ember attacks, a task handed down by Remy herself. Arlo's eyebrows raise in disbelief, his skepticism palpable. He questions Remy's fixation on this cause. Blake's words flow, an outpouring of concern for Remy. He reveals her relentless fixation on Ember, a pursuit she's throwing herself into recklessly. Arlo's curiosity piqued. He suggests that Blake talk to her. The moment Remy appears, the conversation cuts short. The flyer exchanges hands with a passing student, curiosity dancing in the student's wake. Arlo's voice is measured as he voices his qualms, labeling Remy's actions as panic-inducing. Remy's voice carries conviction as she justifies herself, aiming to safeguard her peers. Plans are set. A post-school meeting is arranged, and with a nod, Remy is gone. Keen lends a hand in John's relocation, an unexpected knock ushering in Blake. John's presence evokes a charged reaction from Blake, a mix of surprise and scrutiny. Forced introductions follow, orchestrated by Keen himself. John's baffled realization dawns. Blake, his roommate. It's a situation neither expected, yet a handshake bridges the gap. Restless feet lead Remy to a tardy rendezvous with Arlo, news on the TV capturing her attention. Images of Ember flicker, a stark reminder of the world's unsettling reality. Across from her, Arlo reminisces about a conversation with Ray, where sage advice was dispensed, a king's responsibility, a looming threat, words that linger. As the door swings open, Arlo is thrust back into the present. Remy stands before him, apologies flowing freely. A poignant question escapes Arlo's lips. Why this unyielding dedication to Ember? Remy's response echoes with empathy, fueled by the desire to shatter the inertia of apathy. In a world untouched by indifference, she refuses to be a silent spectator. Arlo questions Remy's intense attachment to superheroes, but she firmly believes in their altruistic mission. The scene takes an unexpected turn when Melody, a student from Agwin High, douses Remy in a drink due to her superhero chatter disrupting a date. Demanding an apology, Remy faces Melody's resistance, leading to an electric confrontation. As Remy's assailant is dealt with, Arlo subtly asserts his authority by encircling them with a protective shield, awaiting the overdue apology. Realizing the duo's strength, Melody offers an apology and exits. Blyke's day begins as he prepares for school, only to open the bathroom door and find his new roommate, John, unexpectedly present. Taken aback, Blyke promptly retreats. On his way to school, Ison learns of Blyke's new roommate, John, causing him to spit out his milk in astonishment. Blyke voices his frustration with John, and Ison encourages him to find common ground. Meanwhile, John confides in Sarah about his unfavorable new living situation with Blyke, expressing his intent to make it difficult for him. Sarah consoles John, reminding him that Blyke has responsibilities. She recalls her decision to name him Jack and praises his upfront nature, predicting a positive dynamic between John and Blyke. While navigating the school's corridors, Sarah intervenes when she witnesses a senior girl mistreating a junior. Initially disregarding the situation, Sarah steps in, guiding the junior away and confronting the bully, Bria. A sudden attack from Bria is thwarted by Arlo, who establishes his authority and reprimands her. In a private conversation, Arlo emphasizes the importance of maintaining their positions and questions Sarah's choice to risk exposure for a low tier. Outside of school, Sarah discovers missed calls from Fiora and uncovers John's undisclosed call to Arlo from her phone, leading her to question John's honesty. In the press room, Cecile listens to a revealing audio tape of Arlo and Elaine's conversation. Realizing John's true power, contemplating whether to expose this revelation, she grapples with Arlo's warning against unauthorized disclosure. Meanwhile, a student presents Cecile with a sketch of Sarah's defensive posture during a recent attack, prompting Cecile to speculate about a potential decline in Sarah's abilities. Determined to substantiate her findings, Cecile contemplates her options to navigate around Arlo's restrictions, knowing that both revelations have the power to reshape the school's dynamics. As John heads toward his dorm, he unexpectedly faces an attack from Martin. John swiftly counters, proving his prowess by overpowering his assailant and subduing him on the ground. Zeke sneakily greets John from behind, resulting in a less than warm welcome. John asserts his departure, but Zeke grabs his shoulder, asserting his dominance as the king of the scene. John reluctantly bows, mentioning his pending work, and dashes away. Zeke, clearly irked by John's tone, uses his power to halt John in his tracks, demanding respect. With a grip on John's jaw, Zeke's demand for deference intensifies, but John's resilience shines through. A well-placed kick frees him, and he darts off. Martin intervenes, met with a swift punch from Zeke. John addresses the cycle of bullying, leading to a heated exchange. John brands Zeke as insecure, escalating the tension. A slap follows, sending John to the ground, with Zeke pointing out the consequences of defiance. Ison and Blyke stroll towards the dorm, discussing Remy's intriguing request. Blyke senses something amiss. John's sudden collapse captures their attention. Rushing to his aid, they escort him to his room. Upon awakening, John questions their motives, reflecting on past encounters. Ison's guilt over the wrist incident surfaces. John, wary yet vulnerable, commands their exit. Blyke steps in, reprimanding John for ingratitude. A scuffle brews, Ison stepping in to quell it. Ison is then pulled aside by a call from Cecile, leaving John to ruminate. In a clandestine meeting with Cecile, Ison's article about John's disability is brought up. Ison's unease is palpable as Cecile discloses proof of John's strength, advocating for his ascension as king. Reluctance meets her proposal. Ison divulges John's obscured history, leading to a revelation of his rise from near cripple to formidable force. Cecile is stunned, warned against meddling with his secret. In Sarah's sanctuary, a call alerts her to an impending interview. Blyke's morning routine is disrupted as he steps up against Zeke's cronies. Blyke questions John's company, prompting a quirky response. Blyke corners Ison, sparking an inquiry about school attendance. He fires back, blaming John's bathroom habits for his lateness. Then he spills the tea about the wild incident by his room today. In a sneaky twist, a green-haired girl starts playing detective on Sarah. Suspicion leads to action as she hurls a stone at Sarah, causing a shocking spill of blood. The crowd goes into a hush, wondering why Sarah isn't pulling her healing trick. Green-haired culprit rushes over, scrambling to apologize for her stone-throwing fiasco. Sarah waves it off and exits like a boss. John, meanwhile, administers his healing routine, only to be floored by Sarah's unexpected entrance. Darren's jaw drops, and John's brows furrow as he gazes at Sarah's unexpected appearance. They park themselves on the bedpost bandage, with Sierra casually brushing off the whole blood and injury drama. John can't resist the urge to grill her about the green-haired assailant. Sierra plays the mysterious card, claiming she's never seen her before. John's inner detective kicks in, suspecting the green-haired troublemaker caught wind of Sierra's powers taking a vacation. Sierra's like, "Chill, John. Secrets have a way of leaking, and honestly, I'm not stressing." John loses his cool, unleashing a "how could you" tirade. Sarah, though, turns the tables, revealing her own battle scars and defending her right to a vulnerability. The tension mellows, and Sierra prods John on his sudden personality switch since her absence. Cue the heavy silence as John wrestles with her probing question. In the midst of the intense conversation, Sierra cunningly links John's shifty behavior to the infamous Arlo. She drops a bomb by questioning his sudden connection with Arlo, making it clear she's onto his little secrets. John caves, spilling about the ambush setup, trying to play it all cool. Sierra's fiery anger bubbles up. Turns out Arlo's been playing puppet master since she gave up her crown. Revenge is on Sierra's menu, and Arlo's about to get a taste. Cut to Darren, dialing Sierra for some private chat time about test results. Arlo, lost in thought, puts the puzzle pieces together about Ray's death, connecting dots to the mysterious Ember. Plot twist alert! John pops up, summoning Arlo for a rooftop rendezvous. Oh, but Sierra intercepts him, confronting Arlo about his little betrayal escapade. Threats are thrown, ultimatums declared, and Arlo gets the message loud and clear. Rooftop showdown time. John's waiting, Arlo's late, drama brewing. They get into a scuffle, and John wonders if he can trust himself. Sierra's backstory drama comes to a simmer, with Keon and Nadia storming Wellston for an exclusive interview. Keeney springs into action, on guard mode. Keon starts his Q&A session with Sierra, trying to unveil what she did while suspended. Sierra said she faced a mountain of assignments, but the allure of procrastination won. Then the intriguing question pops. Why did she return to school before her suspension's expiration? The siren call of familiarity drew her back, though a chilling encounter awaits her upon return, an attack that's left her powerless. And where did she seek refuge? Post-attack. She hesitates to utter his name, but destiny compels her to spill the beans about John. Keon, ever the detective, speculates if this John is a blast from the past. The book, Unordinary, is thrown into the mix, a litmus test for Sierra's views. Spoiler alert, she's not on board. Nadia's got her liar radar on, sparking some tension. Keon releases Sierra from his inquisition, only to leash her to a 3-month mental makeover to dodge the allure of being a superhero statistic. All for a good cause, it seems. Keon's on a mission to ensure Sierra doesn't take a one-way ticket to Emberville. Headmaster steps in, defending Sierra's powerlessness as her punishment. Keon, still determined, fishes for confirmation that the John Sierra mentioned is the one from the Boston High School debacle. A reluctant nod seals the deal. Meanwhile, Sierra navigates the gossip-laden hallways. Like déjà vu, the green-haired troublemaker's back, causing a tumble and a snapshot of Sierra's newfound vulnerability. Enter Remy, dashing to the rescue. Broken bones and a heartwarming assist ensue. In a different corridor, John's all ears to the Sierra saga. In the infirmary, Sierra's casts become her armor. Remy, ever the empathetic royal, shares a sisterhood moment with her fallen peer. A game of revelations begins. Arlo, the first victim, and an unsettling Ember presence. Sierra's lips seal tight. Now's not the time to bear it all. Outside, a serendipitous encounter between Remy and John, a collision of worlds. Concern fuels his sprint to Sierra's bedside. Tidbits of Keon's questioning spill forth, but Sierra's guilt hangs heavy. A knight's vow to handle Keon wraps the conversation. Meanwhile, Remy's tangled in her own web. Blyke extends an after-school invite, met with a not today for a change. Cafeteria contemplation commences, with Ison playing the part of the concerned friend. Blyke's radar pings Remy's off-kilter behavior. Ison's visit her room remedy is dished out. Enter Remy's domain, Ison and Blyke, the eager helpers. The curtain unveils a clandestine operation. The Ember investigation's exposed, and Blyke can't help but marvel at Remy's solo skills. The revenge quest for her brother's slaying takes center stage. Ember's dark shadow lies over the room. Clippings, evidence, and a dash of skepticism fill the room. The hero's reign once sparked, but murders cast a chilling pall. The authorities' promises echo, but they remain empty words. She's ready to be the bait, a real superhero luring Ember into their trap. It's the only way to reach them. On the way back, Ison's nerves are on edge, but Blyke tells him to chill. It's dangerous, yes, but more powerful people than them have fallen to Ember. Blyke's not leaving her side, and together their trio stands a better chance. The sun rises on a new day, bringing with it a makeshift superhero costume to shield her identity. Ison scoffs at Blyke's choice, calling it crap, but at least it's not empty-handed like Isin. The costume's a bit off, not quite what they had in mind, but they huddle together, determined, and dive into their mission. In the mix, Isin unearths a lead named Waldo in a gritty part of town. Their first target. Isin and Remy consult Blake, only to find him in a comical slumber, victim to some artistic additions on his face. Undeterred, they set their sights on today. Plans unfold, dividing them into teams. Remy leads the charge, and the boys watch her six. As they reach Branishon, the place is eerily desolate. Questions linger about Remy's arrival. Across town, Remy gears up as X-Ray, a superhero contact away from Isin and Blake. The streets echo silence, but a disturbance breaks through. A man's abusive grip meets a jolt of electricity, and a woman in distress finds her savior. X-Ray steps in, offering hope to a town forgotten by the authorities. Trouble's radar blips as Isin senses approaching danger, urging Remy to brace herself. Quiche, Bimmel, Wyme, and Quentin assemble, and our heroine introduces herself with electrifying grace. The clash begins, their first moves exchanged in a dance of abilities. It's not long before our trio's teamwork prevails, sending their attackers to the ground. As Remy zeroes in on Quentin, the aura of a high tier unfurls before her. She's unrelenting, demanding answers about Waldo. Meanwhile, the situation twists. A hostage play. A desperate plea. Remy doesn't flinch, and Blake's laser speaks volumes. The assailant crumbles, and Quentin reveals their path forward. A journey to Waldo's office unveils treacherous challenges. Quentin absorbs a blow, leaving a mark, but Remy stands strong. The shockwave she endures echoes beyond mere numbers, a power greater than 2.8. He launches another attack, but she gracefully evades and counters with her own surge of strength. Waldo's words echo, a chilling reminder of the stakes. A tense clash follows between Waldo and Quentin, but it's Remy's timely shield that takes the blow. Urgent, she calls upon Isin and Blake for a crucial mission. The hostages must be liberated for her final strike. The captives are found, freed from the shadows of despair. Hidden away, Quentin finds safety, a beacon of hope. Isin's assurance of success ignites determination. Waldo falls before Remy's might, his body revealing ominous injection marks. Villains bound and captured, they advance with the rescued hostages. Remy's wounds a testament to her heroism. Quentin's concern lingers, met by Remy's reassuring words. Beneath the ground, the hostages breathe the air of freedom anew, gratitude filling their eyes as Remy announces their liberation. The unfamiliar sight of a high tier astonishes, gratitude flowing in their inquiries. Her response is simple, a purpose beyond reward, a guiding light for those in need. Quentin disperses the crowd, urging rest after the ordeal. The tension between high and low tier surfaces, a reflection of the divide. Blake encounters John, a fleeting exchange marked by vulnerability. Embarrassment meets camaraderie in the morning's light, a silent understanding passing between them. Arlo confronts the news of Sarah's loss, an article's fate hanging in the balance. Cecile's persistence clashes with Arlo's confidence, a silent battle of influence. Sarah and John navigate a shifting campus, a public revelation evoking shock. John's defiance is swift, a testament to his loyalty. Blake intervenes, an unexpected protector, his command halting the skirmish. Sierra's introspection follows, John's insight into powerlessness revealing empathy. Together, they grapple with the disheartening reality of their peers' actions. A bond solidifies in shared vulnerability, a moment of solace amidst the chaos. In the bustling corridor, John catches up with Arlo, his voice ringing out. Curiosity piqued, Arlo turns to face him, raising an eyebrow. The poster receives an unexpected smack, prompting Arlo to question its significance. John's playful challenge is met with Arlo's dismissive attitude, claiming it's none of his business. Elaine receives a cryptic message from Arlo, a clandestine meeting set after school. At Wababoba's cozy ambience, anticipation thickens the air as she arrives to find him waiting. The waitress takes their order with a knowing smile. Arlo's choice, a mango boba, intrigues Elaine's taste buds. With a sip, her intrigue turns into delight. With curiosity bubbling, she inquires about the purpose behind this rendezvous. His reason revealed, Arlo seeks updates on Sarah, their missing puzzle piece. A week's passing without her powers has left everyone baffled. Elaine opens up about a fragment of information, a conversation overheard. The doctor, the hospital, reports sent, Sarah's terror evident. The puzzle edges closer to completion, yet a piece remains lost. Arlo's defense for his decision to share Sarah's predicament in school is strong. The promise of normalcy when Sarah regains her powers provides solace, but Elaine, ever practical, poses a question that disrupts his certainty. Could Sarah's abilities truly vanish forever? Arlo's confident front falters momentarily, quickly dismissed. News blares from a nearby TV. The atmosphere tense. Ember strikes again. Arlo's inquiry draws out more secrets. Elaine's encounter with Blake and Eisen, the aftermath clear, and Elite Tier's brutal assault. Connections weave, the tapestry of intrigue growing. Arlo's mind races back to a fateful encounter with Remy, a distant memory piecing itself together. It was Remy who was being a vigilante. That's it for today. Keep your eyes peeled for our next recap, and make sure to like and subscribe for more recaps like this.